Hey folks, today is Friday, March 8th, 2024. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. There's quite a bit to talk about, so let's just jump in. The first thing is kind of stupid though. This is Warner Brothers kind of putting their foot in their mouth. Whether you follow movie news or now gaming news, there's plenty to kind of poke fun at with them. So this comes from a big business meeting where Warner Brothers Discovery's head of gaming, JB Perrette, was I need coffee. He was speaking about the company's strategy going forward, specifically with the gaming business. And, things have been pretty busy with them recently, with, of course, what has been perceived by many people as kind of the failure of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And he essentially explained that they want to kind of move away from the volatile, expensive, big AAA console games. Those big AAA experiences that cost a lot of money and time to make and may not always be a hit, and focus more on free-to-play mobile games and working on their existing IP and kind of doubling down into that, and also live service games, which this is a really interesting thing to point out, and a lot of people have been being like, what with this? Specifically because while literally in the speech mentioning and publicly acknowledging that Suicide Squad did not work out for them, they also said that they are going to continue to try to invest in live services, which sucks. For lack of a better, I don't know what to say. I would still rather them invest money in creating something that could either sink or swim, that is just a good experience, like a regular AAA game, than make a million bets building live service games that crash and fail even quicker and result in what we've seen so much recently with studios shutting down, people losing their jobs and stuff like that. Also, full disclosure, I'm someone who doesn't usually like most live service games, and I think companies now at this point are realizing, maybe not Warner Brothers, but other companies seem to be realizing, like, it takes a lot of work to get a live service game right. You can't just chase that dragon and hope it's going to work out for you, because there's only a couple out there. Like a World of Warcraft even, or a Division, or a Destiny, or a Warframe. When people really like them, and they usually only have time for one in their life. And what also makes the statement puzzling with them being like a little bit wary of AAA games and how they can be volatile is that they do know how to do it. I mean, I thought for a while Warner Brothers was onto some really good stuff with like Shadow of Mordor and stuff like that. Then, of course, Hogwarts Legacy did break records. It was 22 million copies sold. It was the biggest selling game of the year. So, like, they can do it. It's just they're just being weirdos. Tangent aside, I just thought it was a funny headline to see Warner Brothers being like, Suicide Squad didn't work out for us, but we are going to double down on live service. Okay, good luck with that. But in other Warner Brothers news in terms of disappointments, this is still developing. Keep in mind, they might put out a statement, something might change, but as of right now, we are getting reports after it happened with one indie developer's game where he got word from Warner Brothers, but now it seems like it's more of a wider thing. Warner Brothers is possibly going to delist a bunch of games, like a bunch of indie games, games from Adult Swim Games and other publishers are going to be delisted from Steam and the PlayStation Store, and that sucks. That is really shitty. Adult Swim, I think there's like something like almost like 60 games, and while a lot of them are small indie experiences and some of them I didn't love, there's a lot out there that are pretty interesting. And there's like, just off the top of my head, like Pool Panic, probably Battle Chef Brigade, Headlander, just like some interesting indie and mid-tier games that are now just going to get like wiped off of the face of some servers. I don't think that's great. I'm not a business person. I will never pretend to like understand that stuff, but I do get that server space storage costs money, but I really think better things should be in place to keep these things just out there forever. I mean, there are some ways to keep them out there forever. But yeah, when companies make these types of moves, it doesn't sit well with me. It's the same thing with Warner Brothers on the movie side, with Coyote versus Acme. They made an entire movie. They did it with a Batgirl movie as well. They made an entire movie, and then they just shit can it and throw it in the garbage, and the public doesn't get to see it and judge for themselves. They just do weird stuff. They like to erase stuff. They like to delete stuff, and I don't like that. Hey, now before we keep going, let's talk about subscription services for a second. You subscribe to them, I subscribe to them. I'll admit I subscribe to too many and sometimes I lose track. That's a little irresponsible of me, but thankfully, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, really helps with stuff like that. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. Personally, I have been using Rocket Money for years now just to keep track of things coming and going financially for me. And of course, one of the big things is subscriptions. I really have just loved Rocket Money because it lets you see all of your subscriptions at a glance, and it can help you cancel them with the press of a button. You don't have to talk to anybody on the phone, and it makes it nice and easy. But it's also great for so many other things like monitoring your credit, and for me personally, I like setting budgets with it. It has a bunch of settings to fine-tune the budget that works for you, and I get notifications if I ever get close to my spending limits. It helps keep me in check. It really does help with a lot of aspects of your personal financial life. I have the app right here, so I'm always kind of keeping track of things. So, believe it or not, Rocket Money has saved its customers an average of $740 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Just go to rocketmoney.com/gameranx or click the link in the description down below to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. So once again, that's rocketmoney.com/gameranx. Click that link in the description down below, and big thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Moving on from there, at least some good news is a bunch of game announcements. We got like over 5 new game announcements. A bunch of these came from an Xbox third-party developer showcase, but not all of these games are going to be exclusive to Xbox. I'm just going to rattle them off. I am going to link the trailers in the description down below if you want to check them out for yourself, though. There's Emerzone, the Explorer's Legacy. This looks like kind of like a gorgeous first-person puzzle type game. Some weird ones like Turbo Golf Racing, which is like golf Rocket League. I don't know, man. Also, Monster Jam Showdown looks pretty cool if you're into that type of lighthearted stuff. But then we got some heavy hitters like Stalker, Legends of the Zone Trilogy, which is out now for Xbox and PlayStation. This is a collection of the original Stalker games on console for, I believe, like the first time. So if you're looking forward to the new Stalker, now you can do a little homework to get caught up if you don't have a PC. Also, Creatures of Ava looks like a lighthearted, like no combat exploration adventure game where you have a magic flute and can control these creatures. Sleight of Hand is like a moody, atmospheric card game. Card games have been really killing lately, like with Balatro. That has been popping off. If you guys haven't checked that out, maybe look into that. But yeah, Sleight of Hand. Also, Unknown 9 Awakening. Not sure what to make of this one yet, but it does look a little different, which is still good. Also, I didn't think this would get a sequel, especially after some like legal troubles behind the scenes, but The Sinking City 2 is announced. Yeah, so that's a nice cherry on top of the week. It's not all like massive heavy hitter games, of course, I'm not gonna lie, but like, just a couple of new game announcements, always good. We'll take what we can get. More games being announced, less games being canceled, please. But also some trailers and videos and stuff I did want to link in the description down below. If you're still playing Final Fantasy Rebirth, hope you're having fun. But another release this week is WWE 2K24. I did the before you buy on that, and it is a yearly entry in a sports game franchise, and it's fine. They added some cool stuff for wrestling fans. I'm a little bit more of a casual fan, but yeah. Also, Ghost of Tsushima is releasing on PC May 16th. With a bunch of PC goodies, ultra-wide support. I am really excited for this. I'm not going to lie. I loved Ghost of Tsushima, especially after like totally 100%ing it and playing the DLC. Like I was about it. So if I have time, I am totally going back to this again. Also, there's like a full-length trailer now for the Amazon-developed Fallout television show, the series. And it looks... I don't want to I don't want to say it yet. It's like I'm so nervous, but it does look pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. Walton Goggins is like doing drugs as a ghoul. Hell yeah. We'll just have to wait and see. It could end up like the Halo show. Who knows? But yeah, that's a thing. Also, Frostpunk 2, one of my most anticipated, finally has a release date. It is July 25th with a new trailer. That is linked below. We got a new trailer for the First Berserker. Good Souls-like action combat stuff. And The Alters also got a gameplay trailer. I believe this came out of the Xbox event thing. But also this week, we finally got a good drop for Dune Awakening. This is the sandbox MMO survival game from Funcom, the people behind, I believe, like Conan Exiles. And they've teased it for a while with cinematic trailers and stuff. And this trailer is like heavily crafted. It's marketing. It's careful. You get little glimpses of gameplay, but like it does look promising. I say that as somebody who is just like super Dune pilled right now, just really into Dune. So I'm willing, like, I just want more Dune. So I really hope this is good because the ideas and like a kind of survival MMO thing, but on Arrakis. It kind of makes sense. It could be cool. Still no release date, but there are beta signups, so we'll probably be seeing more from it very soon. Also, in terms of games that people have been asking me, like, hey, when are we getting news about it? Dragon Age Dreadwolf. This game has been in the works for a long time, and we have new reports specifically from Jeff Grubb from Giant Bomb, who has gotten some scoops right in the past, reporting that we will see Dragon Age Dreadwolf possibly in 2024. This is something that I've kind of felt in my bones also, and like from murmurings and stuff, specifically because I think the pressure is on for this game to finally get out, because they've been working on it for so long. But we also know that, you know, BioWare has changed a lot. There had been some insider reports of this like kind of changing development angles here and there. So we don't know for sure if it's 2024, but I think at the very least we're going to see something substantial from it this year. Still, all things considered, it's early in the year, and we don't know like the full holiday games release lineup, so anything could happen at this point. It's only March. It's March? It's March already? Oh, God. With all that being said, that's the gaming news to get caught up on this week. We got to go get back to work playing a bunch of games for Before You Buy for March. Some interesting releases, so keep your eyes peeled. But let me know in the comments what you think about all the news this week, from the new game announcements to what Warner Brothers is saying about like wanting to make more live service games despite just taking a big fat L on one, and like, you know, moving away from volatile AAA games. Like, let's talk about that stuff. Anything at all down in the comments. Will be down there as much as possible, but if you want to yell at me directly, of course you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all those places at Jake Baldino. That'll be linked in the description down below. But thank you guys for coming here and getting caught up on the news with us every Friday. We're always here. Clicking the like button does help us out. But that's it. Be safe. Have a great weekend. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me.